So Republicans are seriously disappointed after this midterm election. Let's talk about it in today's video. Hi, I'm Mike Reiner. I'm a lifelong Democratic activist who's concerned about the direction our country is taking. I'm also a lawyer and an academic, and I'm here to help you stand up to the BS of the MAGA crowd. So I'm not generally one to gloat, especially after elections, because I know how fickle the electorate can be. But I have to say I'm kind of enjoying watching the Republicans beating themselves up after their red wave failed to materialize. They were so confident that they had this election won big time, that to see a situation where today, when I'm recording this video, we still don't know who has control of either chamber of Congress. And in fact, the Democrats may retain control of both of them. So I think it's worth seeing what some Republicans are saying on Fox News about the election. Let's check this out.
Just think about this. We welcome back Partisan and Harold Ford Jr. to the panel. We talked a lot about debates and when some candidates did debates and some didn't do them. Had the October 25th debate been September 30th, would this race have changed?
Boy, they're really upset at Fox News about Fetterman beating Dr. Oz. The truth of the matter is, had the election been held a little bit earlier, when the Dobbs decision was even more so in voters' minds, I think the night would have been even worse for Republicans. Let's keep watching, though.
Mark?
I think it might have, or maybe it wouldn't have. I mean, I think there's a broader issue here, which is that, so think about this. We have the worst inflation in 4 decades.
Now, I disagree with a lot of the comments that this guy's making, but it just shows the arguments that Republicans were making and how confident they were. So let's check this out.
Worst collapse in real wages in 40 years, the worst crime wave since the 1990s, the worst border crisis in U.S. history. We have Joe Biden, who is the least popular president since Harry Truman, since presidential polling happened, and there wasn't a red wave. That is a searing indictment of the Republican Party. That is a searing indictment of the message that we have been sending to the voters. They looked at all of that and looked at the Republican alternative and said, no thanks.
I actually totally agree with his assessment there. I think the biggest thing that we saw happen in this election, aside from the fact that abortion was important after the Dobbs decision, and people hadn't forgotten about that as they went to vote, but that the Republicans had a serious issue with candidate quality. As Mitch McConnell pointed out earlier in the election season, they recruited a bunch of jokers and expected them to defeat excellent candidates, spewing nonsense about an election that was stolen and doing their best to undermine democracy. And guess what? The voters didn't like it. Let's keep watching here.
The Republican Party needs to do a really deep introspection look in the mirror right now, because this is an absolute disaster for the Republican Party, and we need to turn back. We need to look at who won today. Ron DeSantis, DeWine, these governors, Kemp, Abbott. You know, look at these governors. This is the path to the future. At electing these radical candidates who ran far behind them has put the Republican Party in a terrible position, and voters have.
He's right about that. The Republican Party is in a terrible position, and it's an even more terrible position given the fact that you're going to be seeing Donald Trump announcing his campaign for president again. And with DeSantis' big victory in Florida, you can bet that he and Donald Trump are going to be at each other's throats going forward now. So I say, I hate to gloat, but I have to say, I am kind of enjoying this Republican self-recrimination after we've been hearing them attacking us so viciously for so long. Well, if you want to see more about why abortion was such an important issue in this midterm election, check out this video I did a little while ago over here. It just shows how the voters realize that Republicans cannot be trusted with this important issue. I'll see you then. In the meantime, let's hope for continued progress. Thank you.